Have you ever been so crushed by pain you don't even know how to pray? The amazing thing about our God, Jesus, is that he knows our pain physically and emotionally. So today we're going to look at part 4 of my series, How Did Jesus Handle That? And we're going to look at specifically, how did Jesus handle suffering? He is the prime example to look at on how to suffer with purpose and trust in God. He walked through it for our sake. Now some of you may be watching this like, who wants to suffer? Well, nobody wants to suffer, but yet again, it's bad to just avoid the reality. You will suffer someday. You will suffer for certain things, especially when you come to Christ. And you have to look at it as, if Christ suffered, of course we will suffer. And that is something that's really hard to grasp, but we have to come to terms with. Before I get into it, I want you to realize that when you come to Christ, it does not mean that your suffering is ended. At all. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that, and Jesus never preaches this. The difference between a Christian and a non-Christian when it comes to suffering, for Christians, suffering is never wasted. God uses it to refine us and draw us closer to him. Suffering shows that our dependency needs to be on him because we cannot do it alone. A prime example of this is Christians and non-Christians. When you get at a really hard place of your life, you start praying. You start trying to hope for something that you never believed in before because you know that you cannot do it. This is an example of God trying to pull us closer to him. So how did Jesus handle suffering? He faced it honestly. He did not hide his pain. Matthew 26:38, in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus was so overwhelmed to the point of death. What you need to take from this is that Jesus did not pretend that he was okay. He was deeply troubled. But what did he do with that? He took it to the Father in prayer. It is not weakness to acknowledge your pain. It's strength to bring it to God. Jesus also accepted and surrendered to the Father's will. Suffering is not always removed, but God gives power to endure it when we submit to him. Luke 22:42. Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, for not my will, but your will be done. Number 3, Jesus trusted God the Father through the worst pain. Jesus was beaten, mocked, abandoned, nailed to the cross, and he never gave up on the Father. So something to also come to terms with is that you will not know everything. And you do not know or understand God's timing all the time. But just because you don't know or understand does not mean that God is not working. Jesus endured to fulfill his purpose. Even though he was suffering, he saw the bigger picture. He knew that his suffering would bring salvation to the world. He didn't quit because he had you and me in mind. There is purpose in your pain. And Jesus also thought of others while he was in pain. While on the cross, he forgave his killers, cared for his mother, and saved a dying thief. Suffering does not have to make you bitter. That's very, very hard to understand, but it doesn't have to. Jesus teaches us to keep loving even though we are hurting. So in a recap, he felt deeply and didn't hide it. He prayed honestly. He surrendered fully. He trusted God completely. He loved others sacrificially, and he endured for a purpose. So please know that you are not alone in your suffering. Your Savior has scars too. I will see you in the next video, and subscribe for the series. God bless.